Mark, this is your 17th year with SFU. What does it mean to be able to lead this team from the BCIHL to now playing almost exclusively NCAA Division I competition?
Yeah, pretty cool. 17 years, if that's the right number, doesn't seem like it. So yeah, it's been a long journey, but time has kind of flown by, and with all due respect to where we're at. So yeah, it's really exciting. It's fun. There's a lot of good people we've worked with along the way and met and interacted with, and it's a testament to the group and the alumni that supported us. And now, I think we're seeing what we can really achieve.
Last year was a challenge for you, playing Boston University, Boston College, Michigan. You knew you were at the work, and the team would have their work cut out for them. But they took the number 2 ranked Boston University to a 1-1 tie. And some people might say, oh, they didn't have their best players, but it's the same team that beat Yale 6-2 the week prior. So that's something to be proud of, no?
Yeah, I mean, there's always going to be different sides to the story on games like that and what have you. But, the fact of the matter is we dove into a season where we had a lot of unknowns, and we didn't know everything that was going to go about it when it comes to, obviously, recruiting players to come play at that level, and obviously financial things that go along with ramping up a team to that level. So yeah, a lot of unknowns, but we dove into the deep end, and I think we proved ourselves well, and a lot of guys, I think, stepped their game up, and it was fun. It was an interesting year in the sense that you learn a lot and kind of try to be a sponge when you're interacting with other teams like Michigan or Colorado College or BU or BC, seeing how they operate, seeing what they do. And then obviously the on-ice product is a different level. So that's another area that, I think we've learned a lot, and now we'll carry on into this year.
Obviously, being an independent team with no conference or affiliation with any athletic association, it comes with its own challenges. On top of not having guaranteed schedule every year, you're not competing for any titles, records. It's nothing but pride, really. This year, you've brought in 14 new players, including 2 NCAA Division I transfers. How have you been able to sell this program with all these hurdles?
Yeah, I mean, the hurdles are just hurdles if you choose to accept them as hurdles. If you always stop and kind of use the aw shucks, we can't do something, or chicken little, the sky's falling, and we might as well just give up. I think that's a loser mentality, and I think you don't get anywhere in life. And that's the same thing I teach my own kids. So we have to push through, figure out ways around certain things. Getting guys to come to the program and getting people to support the program is really important. And you only get those things achieved if you're playing and doing things at a different level. And obviously, we've had family advisors and agents phone us to have their clients come and play for us. We've had kids from high-end junior levels and even coaches of junior A teams saying, hey, we want one of our guys to play for you, knowing that we're playing that schedule. Because the competition at the end of the day is what these kids, what these players, what these families want. The education is second to none already, and we understand that at SFU, and we pride ourselves on that. But the hockey part just brings in a higher end hockey player, higher end athlete, and those are the guys we want to surround ourselves with.
What's one thing you want to see from the team this year?
Yeah, good question. I mean, I think there's a lot. Obviously, when you're playing teams with loads of NHL drafted players, you're playing programs that are running on $1 million budgets, and you're playing institutions that have been around since the early 1900s or what have you. You're in a different environment. So your players and even our staff have to understand, you have to work a little smarter. Everybody's working hard. I mean, that's just the common denominator around athletics in general. It doesn't matter if it's the soccer team or the basketball team and anything you do. But I think with our guys, we have to think the game a little differently. The mindset of how to prepare combined with what you're doing when you're on the ice. that brain works at a different level, at the D1 level. And so all our athletes are capable of playing. It's just, can you make decisions at a faster and quicker rate and then execute on those things?
You were an NCAA Division III champion 20 years ago. Does that guide you on how you coach this team now? How has the game changed from then to now, and how have you changed with it?
Yeah, that's 20, probably 22 years ago now, 23. But yeah, it's fascinating in a way because the game has changed so much. Again, the hard work and the work ethic and all those things are different. The game has changed in the sense that the players are that much better. They're that more high-end skill. They're that much better on their skates, and then they can do things. The systems and some of those things, yeah, you're not really reinventing the wheel, but the guys and the young players today, even 10, 12, 13-year-old kids are doing things that we would have never done in back in the day. So the game has changed in that aspect. Learning and watching as a player and playing and then getting into coaching. There's a lot of things you try to do. One is surround yourself with good people, surround yourself with better people that know a little bit more than you do, because that's always a good thing. And then learn from them and soak it all in. I think the other thing is trying to be a good thief, stealing from other coaches and watching and kind of adapting to what you can bring and then adapting to your surroundings, because your team is going to be totally different than the team you're watching and you want to play like. So being able to tweak those things is really important. And I think just having a good sense of mindset where you're in a good space every day, making sure the guys are happy. I think that's half the battle.
Obviously, it's been a long journey from when you started with this team. What have you learned in the 17 years with this team to now?
Well, yeah. I think the biggest thing is just how good the players are today, and letting them make decisions and figuring stuff out on their own. You can't really control these guys like a video game. So you have to put some structure in place, create some sort of identity, build a culture, and then let them run with it. You have to have that open door policy. It's not the 1960s or 70s or 80s where you're a drill sergeant and they do what you want them to do. Today's player, today's student athlete is different. So you have to be able to relate to everything they're doing, not only what they do on the ice, even what they're doing in their social life, what music they listen to, talking to them, getting to know them a bit more. That's something I definitely can get better at, but at the same time, it's easy to then want them or get them to work hard or get them to do something for you when you have that relationship, because you're managing attitudes. That's all you're doing. You're managing 25 different attitudes, and every kid's different. How you get them to do certain things is not the same with every one of them. So that would be one thing. And the second thing, again, is surrounding yourself with good people. I mean, if I'm the smartest guy in the room, I'm in the wrong room. So having Jim Camazola with us, having Jason Krog with us along the way, having guys behind the scenes that know more of the business side and that kind of stuff is really important, so that, again, we're doing all the right things as best we can.
With Luc Simard coming in as the SFU's new Executive Director of Athletics and Recreation, how important is this upcoming season for this program, and what's the main message you want to convey to him about the future of SFU hockey?
Wow, loaded question. Yeah, I mean, I haven't met Luc, and hopefully he jumps in and does what he has to do. We kind of have always run a little on an island with regards to the hockey team, and we just try to do our best to stay out of people's way, abide by the rules, create a great environment, again, for student athletes to come, play real good hockey, and get a great education and represent SFU as best we can. I think with that being said, there are a lot of eyeballs on us, not only from SFU athletics, from parents, from social media entities and people in the local community, junior hockey teams, junior owners. I think we really struck a chord last year doing what we did and turned some heads and got some eyeballs on us. So when you start getting people to look at the program as wait a minute, this is a pretty good venture here. How do we grow this? How can I help? And you know that there is that, let's just say, excitement. We want to make sure we're doing all those things so people kind of come into our orbit. So whether that's winning hockey games, doing good community work, getting our guys out with the young kids, and whether it's programs that we've worked with before in Burnaby and outside of Burnaby, we want to continue to do that. And again, I think, you know, if we do those things and we do them well, we'll only continue to grow and then bring more people in and have that opportunity to continue to get more, let's just say, support.
Perfect. Thank you, Mark.
Thank you.